Hey, everybody. My name's Brent Palmer, and we're going to share the Partner Co compensation plan today, guys. I am blessed to be one of the founding brand partners here at Partner Co. Was here when we established the company. Blessed to be on that committee, but I'm also blessed to be on the executive committee and the Partners Council committee and just to serve over the field. But when we put this company together, I want to talk to you compensation wise. We were looking for because we had access to a lot of different compensation plans. And so one of the things that we put together was the ability to, we wanted people to be able to come here and build in their building style. And so we put this plan together to accomplish that. So the first part of the compensation plan, very simple part, is retail profits. Okay. And it's a really simple part. So when you spend $29, okay, 29.95 USD. Now this is different for every market. Okay. So if you were in Canada, the enrollment fee, it's one time. But when you spend that, also our subscription, I want everybody to know our subscription here or our auto ship, as a lot of people refer to it, is 100 points, 100 in product volume. Okay. I'll refer to that. That right there gets you a 30% discount on all of our products in our company, as well as it makes you commission eligible each week inside of our company. Okay. So $29.95 is our enrollment fee. That's one time. You never pay that again. And then you get set up on Subscribe and Save. Okay. Which is 100 points to be commission eligible within our company, but it also gives you 30% off all of our products. It gives you lifestyle credits. We'll talk about all of those features, but it unlocks everything for you to have access to within our company. So the minute you do that, it opens up retail profits. Here's what it means with retail profits. It means you, for instance, purchase something for, let's just say $100, okay? And you sell to a customer and they purchase at full retail at 130, giving you a difference in retail profits of $30, okay? Most people have access to that in the compensation plans, but that's our first way. We're paid 8 different ways inside of this compensation plan. So this is the first. Now, the second way I want to talk about is super important is base commissions. So I'm sorry, let me back up. Second way I'm going to talk about is called new volume bonus. Okay. Love this part of the compensation plan. So I'm going to explain it a couple of different ways. Okay. New volume bonus. So when you pay your $29.95 USD, okay, again, depending on the market you're in, you can check on that. This is USD. You also, we're going to call it 4 pay periods. We pay in this company on Friday. So in your first 4 pay periods, you're going to activate what we call your business level. Okay. Super important here because if you purchase or sell 200 in product volume, okay, we call that the activate level in the compensation plan. Activate level is going to pay you 15% in new volume bonus money or for life. It locks it in. Okay. Now here's the beauty. Once you move it to 500 PV, we call it business level. Okay. And that's going to give you 20% locked in for life in new volume bonus. I'll explain how that works. 1,000 PV in your first 4 pay periods is going to get you to a place called Elite in the business level. Elite is 25% locked in for life. And then 1,500 PV is called Ultimate. And Ultimate is 30% for life in the compensation plan. So obviously, in a person's brand new, in your first 4 pay periods, we want to get you to 30%. We want to hit this point right here. And let me say this about Ultimate. It unlocks everything in the compensation plan. Not only do you get highest payout in new volume bonus, but it unlocks matching check. Okay. It unlocks all of our global bonus pools. It unlocks 5 lines of business that you get to choose if you want to grow. Okay. After 5, you can go to a 6, a 7th, a 8. It unlocks all the features of the compensation plan. So we want to help people get to Ultimate in their first 4 pay periods. Remember, we pay every Friday. So that's 4 Fridays. We get them to Ultimate. They're locking in at 30%. How do you get to Ultimate? Through your own personal orders or through customer volume. Okay. Those are the 2 ways. So I want to give you an example of this. So the new volume bonus feature is really simple. Let's say that you enroll, I'm just going to put enroll someone on 1,500 in product volume. On Friday, your new volume bonus, I'm going to say NVB, is going to show in your commission summary $450. You go, Brent, how does that happen? Because you're going to make 30%, okay, of 1,500 points or PV, product volume. So you're going to make $450, okay? Now, I'm going to give you another scenario. That would be day 1. If they did it day 1, you would earn that day 1. We'll give you another scenario. If you enrolled someone with 200 PV, you're going to make 30%, okay? Andrea, I might quiz you a little bit. Andrea's been with me for 15 years. So as we go here, so here's the thing. This right here would earn $60 in new volume bonus, okay? Correct me if I'm wrong. So $60. But here's the beauty. The new enrollee over their 4 Fridays goes from 200 PV to 1,500 PV. Let's say it takes them all 4 pay periods to do it. You're still at the end of this 1,500 point run, off your new enrollee, you're still going to earn $450. You just did it spaced out over the course of 4 pay periods, right? So if you enroll 1,500 points day 1, you get the 450 day 1. But in new volume bonus, every one you enroll, you have 4 Fridays to collect anything they purchase or anything that new brand partner sells in customer volume. You're going to collect that 30% payout. New volume bonus is an amazing thing. I want to give you another scenario, okay? Just covering the bases here. And again, just giving you a couple of examples. This would be 1 example. This would be 2. I'm going to give you a 3rd example right here. Okay? Here's a beauty. So let's say that you have attained Ultimate. Okay? You're at the highest payout in the compensation plan. You're there. And you need to place, you're like, you know what? I need to buy 10 boxes of these amazing drops because I am selling so many of them, right? And so 10 boxes of drops is 500 PV. Your Ultimate status. So let's say that you enroll, boom, in your line 1, a brand partner. You have the ability to purchase yourself 500 PV, okay? And actually place that 500 PV's volume under a new brand partner, giving them credit for your product order, and it flows through them, which is beautiful, but it also pays you the Ultimate 30%. So literally you made 150 USD off your own order, and your brand partner that is brand new got credit for your volume. So it's a win for you. It's a win for your new brand partner. It's a beautiful thing, and it's in our compensation plan. And upon checkout of ordering your own product, it's always going to ask you, who do you want to get credit for this? You. And we absolutely want you to get credit for it if you're running to Ultimate. But after your Ultimate, we want to give it credit to somebody you've personally enrolled, because you get paid and they get your volume. So huge, huge point. This right here, new volume bonus, business level, getting people to Ultimate will crack the code of the entire comp plan. When people ask me, Brent, what will scale the comp plan the most for me and my organization? Get to Ultimate in your first 4 Fridays and help all of your people do the same. It will crack every code in the compensation plan and blow your business up. So the third way we're paid on Friday is called base pay. Now, the way base pay operates is, remember, I'm going to pretend that you are Ultimate, right? So you have made it to Ultimate, which means you're at the highest, you get everything. What you also get is you get 5 lines of business to grow when you achieve Ultimate. You don't have to, but you get the 5. Okay. What happens after you optimize, or are you, well, I'll talk about that in a second. So let me say this. Remember this word, optimize. Optimize in this compensation plan is 13,334. That is an important product volume figure. Okay. And remember, in this compensation plan, volume is volume. It does not matter who sponsored who, where they're at. If they're in your line and there is volume getting created, it's going to flow. Okay. It will flow through the tree. And there's no breakaways. There's no sponsor criteria. Volume's volume. So I'm going to give you a scenario of base pay. Let's say that you're line 1, and we're going to say it's on Friday. It's at the end of the pay period. Your line 1 did 8,000 in volume for the week in product volume. And remember, volume's volume. So it doesn't matter who created it. It all flows up. In your line 2, you did 2,000 in volume. In your line, let's say you have 3 lines. In your line 3, you did 2,000 in volume. Okay. Here's the way base pay works. Base pay is going to pay you 15% on all of your lines except your biggest. Okay. And it's going to cap it, each line, it's going to cap at $2,000. So I'm going to tell you how they get this. 15% of 13,334 is $2,000. Now, I get asked a lot when I say this. So we don't get paid past 13,334. You absolutely do. It's in another form of pay, okay, that we'll talk about in a second. Remember, this is just one way we're paid. So here's how base commissions work. At the end of Friday, 8,000 in product volume through line 1, 2,000, 2,000. It's going to pay me 15% on all my lines except my biggest. This is my biggest line on Friday. So on Friday, in the base pay part of the compensation plan, it's going to pay me $300. 15% of 2,000 PV is $300. I'm going to make sure that says PV. 15% of 2,000 PV, $300. Okay. So that is the way base pay. If I had 2,000 here, it'd pay me 15%, 2,000 here, or any number up to 13,334, which caps at $2,000. So I have a chance to make $2,000, $2,000, $2,000, $2,000, and it would just keep going as many lines as I want to make. That is base pay. And to optimize a line, because I'm going to keep going back to this, is 13,334. We call that optimizing a line. Okay. So, and I'm going to draw the conclusion up in a little bit. The fourth way we're paid is called match pay or matching bonus. And it's really simple, but it is one of the biggest forms we're paid in the compensation plan. And I love it. So here's what I want to share with you. Here's matching bonus. I'm going to give you two things that I want to share. So you come in and you sponsor person A. And person A, over the course of the next 12 months, earns, we're going to go big here. They earn $100,000 in base commissions. Okay. I'm going to say base pay through the year. They earn $100,000. You're going to make 15% of that. Okay. You're going to make 15% of their base pay. So if they earn $100,000 for the year, you're going to make 15% of that. If they earn $2,000 for the week in base pay, you're going to earn 15% of that. Okay. So it accumulates. So I'm just kind of doing the yearly here. Okay. So that would be right there, $15,000 for the year for you. Okay. Now, person A sponsors person B. You don't sponsor person B. A sponsors B. You're going to make, if they did 100,000, you're going to make 10%. Okay. So you're going to make 10,000 on that. So just those two people, you made $25,000 just on their base paycheck for the year. Okay. Andrea, feel free to unmute if you're like, hey. So if person B sponsors person C, I'm going to go to 100,000 for the year. You're going to make 5% of that. So you're going to make $5,000. All three people. You can have as many person A's as you possibly want. And you're going to make 15% every time you enroll a new person in their base pay. Every time they enroll a new person, you can have unlimited B's. You're going to make 10%. You're going to have unlimited C's, or you can. You're going to make 5%. This goes down 7 generations to pay you. It goes 15%, 10%, 5%, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 through 7 generations. This will be the biggest pay. And I'll share with you why. And I'm blessed and very grateful to have a large organization. So I see through the organization. Here's why I love this compensation plan. Here's why I love match pay or matching bonus. You come here. We've all seen this in the industry. You come here and you bring person A, and person A goes and they absolutely, remember, you get 5 lines here. Okay. So you got 5 lines to bill that you have a ability to once you're ultimate. So person A goes and blows it up and they do 1 million in volume. Let's just paint the big picture, right? They do 1 million in volume. They're a rock star. They crush it. You went to ultimate and you've sponsored, let's just say you sponsored 10 people over here and 5 people over here. And they really haven't done anything. You're doing about 1,000 in product volume a week here. You're doing about 500 in product volume here. In most compensation plans, I would have to look to this person and go, listen, we got to get more going on over here so we can cycle, or we got to get more going on over here so we can balance in a 60-40 split. The beautiful thing about match pay is because you went ultimate, you're going to get this match pay portion of this business. You're making great money. We have people in our business making six figures and beyond that most 98% of their weekly check is coming from matching bonus. 98% of their check. The rest of their checks coming from a little bit of volume coming over here. What I love as a builder is I know if someone recruits someone, brings someone in the business, and they take off and build a massive business, as long as they're ultimate, matching bonus is going to kick in and they're going to be very, very happy. Very happy. So that's the fourth way we're paid. So I'm going to draw this back because we're paid a fifth way. Okay. And that's called savings bonus. Okay. The way savings bonus works is in your back office, you're going to have a dial. Okay. Let's just pretend this is the dial in your back office. Every time your base pay hits $250 or more, the company is going to match 15% into a savings. Okay. You don't pay anything. It's just them adding to your account. Every time it hits 250, what if it hit 500? They're going to match 15%, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 15%. And then what it's going to do is it's going to keep track of it in your back office. And when that savings bonus hits $10,000 that the company matched at 15%, they're going to send you a $10,000 bonus check when that happens. The quickest we had someone do it last year, Andrea, correct me if I'm wrong, was like maybe 15 weeks, 20 weeks. It can be done very fast if the speed is there of the organization. So, but $10,000, we've helped a lot of people already in 2 years of running this company cash a lot of $10,000 bonus checks. After that $10,000 bonus, it becomes a check, one check a month. Every fourth Friday, it becomes another check that caps at $2,000 for the month. So you can make up to $2,000 in your savings plan bonus per month. Andrea Rosser right now makes $2,000 a month in savings plan bonus above all the other ways she's paid in the compensation plan. And you can use that money, this $10,000 or the $2,000 a month. You can use it for a car, like a car program, or you can use it for whatever you want to, investment, savings, whatever you need to do with this money. We want it to be a blessing for you. So that's another way we're paid. Now, we're also paid, I'm going to go a sixth and a seventh right here. We have a global bonus. Okay. And it is a sixth and a seventh way that we're paid. Okay. And I don't want to get too complicated into this, but what a global bonus is for instance, you come here and you remember you've got 5 lines of business because you're ultimate that you can build. You come here and let's say you take 2 lines of business to 13,334. Remember what I said? When you do 13,334, what do we call that? Optimizing. When you optimize 2 lines of business, first of all, your rank there is called senior officer, just so everybody knows. That's the title when you optimize 2 lines of business. But what happens is now you've optimized your income position. So it's going to throw you into these 2 global bonus pools. Okay. Now, I get really excited when I talk about this because right now, what that's going to do is you optimize every Friday. With doing 2 right now, we're at your global bonus pool between these 2 or $400+. It's like $450. You're thrown into a global. So as the company grows, that'll be dispersed and can grow with it. It's at $400+. But typically what happens is when you do a third line, let's say 13,334, that global bonus pool, it will X here and it'll add a $800 a week here. So it more than doubles with every line you build. So what does that look like? You go do a fourth line. Okay. Now, obviously, as the company grows, that money grows. So this will X and it'll be 1,600 you would see in this line that you're getting for your two global bonus pools. And I can move to a fifth line. And we're talking about weekly here. Okay. So if we go to a fifth line, what would that be? 3,200. Am I right, Andrea? 3,200 in the global bonus pool. Okay. So it X's this and pretty much doubles, is actually more than double, but pretty much doubles. So you can imagine a sixth, a seventh, a eighth. These get extreme, okay? Because with every line you optimize, you get more shares in the global bonus pool. So you're getting a bigger cut each week from the global bonus pool. But this will give you an idea of how it progresses depending on the lines you build. And that's a sixth and a seventh way we're paid. And then the last way we're paid, and I'm going to summarize everything. The last way we're paid is through what we call lifestyle credits or business credits. So it's my thing here is, as a company, we were like, we want to reward people like credit cards do. You know, sometimes you get a credit card and the more you spend, you get points, you get things you can redeem. So these lifestyle credits, you enroll a customer, okay? Here's how you would find it. You would go to My Business in your back office, go to Partner Co Business Rewards. And there you can log in and you can see your transactions that's been made. You can see your points. But bottom line is you get points for enrolling customers. You get points for enrolling brand partners. You get points for attending, let's call it attending events. And here's the biggest points. Every 6 months, every 6 months, every 6 months in the company. So right now we're having one, July. We'll have another one in January. So every 6 months, the system looks at what you did in the previous 6 months. So let's say that you started just right now, you started at 0. And 6 months from now, you did 100,000 in your pay lines. Okay. Overall, you did 100,000 in product volume. Then in January, because that's 6 months from now, in January, you're also going to get a massive, I'm going to call it dump. I don't know that that's the most professional word, but you're going to get a massive dump of credits. Okay. You go, why is that important? Because I can use those credits for travel. We just got back from Bali. We just got back from the Dominican Republic. We have trips all over the world all the time. These points can be redeemed for that. They can also be redeemed for products and other cool things. I tell everybody, save your points for travel and let's go have a lot of fun. You know, work's an adventure. Let's go experience this together. And so we do some amazing trips in the company. And that's the 8th way we're paid. Now, I want to share this because as a company, we also open the door for daily pay. When we looked at this company, we said, would the field enjoy monthly pay or weekly pay more? Weekly pay was the answer. But we also said, as a company, is there another way we can get our brand partners paid? And the daily pay came up. And so we have a system. We call it the system of growth. We're running it all over the world, but we're really running it in the United States. And we've just launched it in Canada. And it is going, I mean, it's life changing for people. And so I want to share this as a ninth way outside of the compensation plan that we're paid. Okay. Here's a ninth way. If you choose, okay, if you choose to play this game. So let's say that you came in and you said, you know what? I see you guys. I see your system. I want to launch your system. So let's say that you came in and you bought 30, let's say you bought 30 boxes of our drops, our hormone balancing drops. Okay. If you hadn't heard about them, ask someone because these are amazing. 30 boxes of drops. Now, 30 boxes of drop is 1,500 in product volume. Okay. So guess what you did day one? You went to ultimate status. Day one, you're there. But now you have an inventory of 30 boxes of drops. Maybe you take one for yourself, hopefully, to become a product of the product. But now you got 29 boxes of drops, right? Let's just call it 30. We're going to give you what we call the system of growth. We call it SOG, system of growth. There is an out that we will give you that you will make some posts and you're going to drive attraction marketing right to your account. People are going to say, how do I get these drops? How do I get these drops? Here's what you have the ability to do. You can take, remember, you've got 30 boxes. You can take, and we're over the course of 4 Fridays. If you run our system of growth, we're going to move 30 boxes. Okay. That means literally you're moving 30 boxes. You might be mailing them to someone, handing them to someone. You go, Brent, what's the profit of that? Okay. 30 boxes in USD, you're going to make $2,300 plus in profit. So imagine bringing people in like yourself, and in your first 4 Fridays, you've just put 2,300 USD in a person's pocket, in your pocket, as a ninth way to get paid. Daily pay. Daily pay. Okay. In the US, we use Venmo a lot, PayPal a lot, different things a lot. I think in Canada, e-transfer, right? I think I have that right. And so we're leveraging the currencies that people move money. Just today, I have paid 5 people through Venmo. Okay. So we operate every day paying. The world operates paying people through that. We're leveraging that here at the company. So we're allowing people to purchase bulk orders at a discounted rate. The more they order, 30 boxes is at a discounted rate. Okay. They're going to make about $2,300 profit. Here's the thing. Let's say you come in and you're like, I can't do 30, but what I could do is 10 boxes. I love this idea of making profit, right? Well, what about 10 boxes? That's going to give you 500 PV. Guess what it's going to make you? It's going to make you $800 plus of profit. Okay. Close to, I think it's 720. Let me be exact. 720 plus of profit. Now, here's the beauty. You move those 10 boxes using our system that's proven. And guess what happens? You do that 3 times, 500 times 3 is what? 1,500 in product volume. You're ultimate, right? Right out of the gate. But you've also earned 720 times 3, right? You've earned over $2,000 in your first 4 Fridays in the business as a ninth way to pay people daily. So don't think just about you. Think about your organization as it builds out. How many people? How important is it to get people in and get them paid fast? There's no faster way than making a sale, receiving it immediately, and having that profit for the day to be able to go out and use in the marketplace as I need to use it. Give it to the kids for store money, going to school, whatever it is. It's a beautiful thing. So we have got this system of growth down and we can share it. It's free to use and it's proven. It is absolutely proven. Now we're launching it in Canada. We've been doing it in the United States for a year and a half. We have the data to back up everything. So we now know how to leverage that. So the last piece I'm going to give you is a 10,000-foot view to summarize this compensation plan. You come in with us. You spent $29.95 USD. Again, every market like Canada, everywhere is different, but it's one time. It's going to be around $29.95 USD. It'll be around that marking point. You spend that one time. Remember, in your first 4 Fridays, we want to get you to 1,500 PV. We can do that day one, or we can do it over the course of 4 Fridays because that's going to get you ultimate status. Why is ultimate status so important? It unlocks all the parts of the compensation plan, and it gives you the ability to build 5 lines. And when we build 5 lines, we can go to a 6th, a 7th, a 8th, and so on. So here's the thing I want to summarize. Let's say that over time, you build 2 lines of business to 13,334. Remember, we call that optimizing. Okay. What is that going to do for you financially? It's going to give you, remember, 15% of 13,334. So doing 2 lines is going to give you $2,000 in base pay. It's going to give you, I always go really small here, but when we do this, it's going to give you $1,000 in match pay. You're going to be thrown into a global bonus pool, let's say $400. So at that point, you've made $3,400 for the week. If you multiply 3,400, if you did that every Friday, when you do it every Friday, you're looking at least $13,000 a month of income. 3,400 times 4. So I always say, do 2 lines of business, you're sitting at 13,000. We combed the data last year in the company. There's nobody in our company that is doing this every Friday. We call it senior officer. That's the rank. If you're a paid ass senior officer every Friday, which means you're doing it every Friday, $160,000 a year of earnings is what's coming from that. We comb the data to prove it. Now, here's the beauty of this comp plan. It gets really simple from here. I can go do it again. 13,334. Here's what's going to happen. 2,000, 1,000 match pay. It's going to X out the 400 and it's going to give me 800 here. Okay. So follow me here. So now that goes to 3,000 and this goes to 3,800. Okay. So that's 6,800. 6,800 times 4. You're hitting the 25K a month. It's just science in the comp plan. Okay. What if that line goes on to be 2 million in volume? That match pay will not be 1,000. It will be through the roof. Okay. So this is very conservative numbers that we're talking about. So what happens if I do a 4th line? Well, by now you can probably do the math. A 4th line, 2,000 in base pay, 1,000 in match pay at least. The 800 gets X'd out here and it moves to 1,600 here. Okay. So now I'm sitting at $4,600 for the week in that line. This line goes back to 3,000. So now I'm at 4,600. I tell everybody with 4 lines of business that you're doing every week, We call that rank CEO in the company. We have people doing 90-day runs to CEO here. I actually got a video out that says 90 days to CEO using our system of growth.
Third line is CEO. Fourth line is chairperson.
I'm so sorry. So sorry. Thank you for that. Andrea hates to correct me. Please correct me. Third line is CEO, 25, and a fourth line is actually chairperson in the ranks. Okay. I'm just going to call it chairperson. If you're looking at our chart of ranking of titles here, now we're going to go to 5 lines, and I'll finish with 5. 13,334. You can do the math now. 2,000 in base commissions. Let's just go low and say 1,000 in match check. This is going to X out. It's going to go to 3,200 in global bonus. Could be more there. Okay. So we're looking at $6,200 there. This would go back to 3,000. Okay. So now let's add up the math. 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. That's 9,000. And then 6,200. You with me, Andrea?
Yes,
5,200. 15,200, right? That's the correct? 15,200 times 4. I'm hoping Andrea is calculating it. 15.
60,800.
Thank you so much. Yes. Say it again.
60,800.
60,800. That's correct. Yeah.
60K.
I tell people if they're looking for $100K a month check, it's right there with 5 lines of business. Very conservative figures. All of these figures right here are not including retail profits. They're not including new volume bonus. They're not including several ways that we're paid in the compensation plan because there's no way for me to factor that in. But what I can factor in is the science of this. With the exception of match check across the board, that's a very conservative figure. So more than likely that match check is way bigger of a number than that. All of our people with 5 lines of business paid as every single week. We call this Tier 2 in the title are at the 100K plus. So this is just giving you kind of a 10,000 foot view of the way we build. Now, the last thing that I want to show you is the power of our system of growth. Andrea, go ahead and stop that recording.